Happy Tuesday. Welcome back. I'm going to be doing a giveaway soon because I need to get rid of makeup. Just so you know, put that at the top of the show. I've already given away clothes. This stuff got to go. I'm just saying. How was your holiday weekend? I hope you had a good holiday weekend. I didn't do a damn thing. Get ready for the show. Tonight we're going to be talking about Remy Papoose and their side pieces losing their minds on the internet. And then I have a fact about Memorial Day and then another dating tip. So we'll have our co-host introduce herself and then we will get started.
Um, Girl, I was about to say, I hear echo. Okay, now I don't. I do.
Okay, go out and come back in. I'll do the other thing.
I'm like, I hear echo.
Okay, go out and come back in. Okay, guys, I'll start with the Memorial Day knowledge so you can learn about Memorial Day. Here we go. I didn't know. Did y'all know Memorial Day was like a day about Black people? I did not know that. I did not know that we were the root of that. And then I didn't know that it was a real holiday to celebrate. Thought it was more like a Columbus Day type thing. So my ignorance. People don't know things. You learn something new every day, or you care to learn something new every day. So let's take a look.
The first Memorial Day actually was created by African Americans celebrating their freedom in the immediate aftermath of the Civil War. The story was just almost unbelievable when I first read it. On May 1st, 1865, the Civil War had ended, just ended. People gathered on the old Planters horse track, the racetrack in Charleston, and they held this extraordinary parade. In the last 6 to 8 months of the war, the Confederates had converted the infield of that racetrack into an open-air prison, and about 260 Union soldiers had died. On May 1st, about 10,000 people marched around the old Planters race course, led by some 2,000 or 3,000 black children, carrying armloads of roses and flowers and singing John Brown's Body, followed by black women, black men, and then Union troops. And they marched around the course, and then they gathered in this cemetery that had been created by local black workmen, and they heard preaching from 5 black ministers, according to this article. These were the freed people of Charleston paying tribute to the Union dead. That's the first Memorial Day.
I saw that too. Or I don't know what it is.
Okay. You said you saw it too. Did you know? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either until Monday, but I had already said one because I seen like a lot of people posting that. I was like, why? It was like, this was the first year I ever seen it.
Me too. I didn't know what. I knew that we were obviously celebrating Memorial Day for the memorials. That's
right
of soldiers, right? I knew that. I just didn't know. I never really understood why we had a Veterans Day and Memorial Day. I didn't understand why they weren't together. I guess that's more what I'm saying. And we always had a little more emphasis on Veterans Day because that's typically around school, all of that. So in consideration of that, if you don't have a military family, that's not something that you would really dive into like that. It's only important as it relates to school and what you learn in school. So that was very interesting to learn. So I thought that I would share it because I was today years old. No, I think I did it yesterday or the day before.
I cleared mine too. So I can show. I never did that.
Me neither. And it's good to learn. In fact, I probably wouldn't have stopped and paid attention if it wasn't somebody of opposite race talking about it. Sometimes certain things just grab your attention. It's very meaningful, just like when women talk to women or when men talk to men, that immediately grabs your attention because you're so used to each one going against each other. So there's certain things for aesthetics just have a different power when it comes from a different person. Not that it's any more important. It just grabs your attention. It's the way the brain works. So let's take a look at more dating tips. This man is hilarious to me. Let's see what he says today. I promise it won't get Rose into trouble because she got the internet cracking up with her snoring issue. Here we go.
What if he takes me out to dinner and wants to go to his place? Well, Indiana, what if he does? Go check his place out. And just make sure who you're dealing with, you know. Go back to his place, check his medicine cabinets. You might take extra long in the bathroom or whatever, but take the risk. All right, just make sure the name he gave you is the name on them prescription bottles, and then check them prescription bottles too, just to make sure. Now you're not dealing with some HPV or something else. I don't know. You don't know. Look behind that mirror. Just see real quick. Take some pictures. All right? Do some recon. You don't know. See if the names match up. Why has he got hair ties in there? For that hoe or whatever? Are you that hoe? I don't know. Look in the medicine cabinet though. You don't know who you're dealing with.
Have you ever gone through medicine cabinets?
I haven't. I never
That's
have.
interesting. You're a nurse and you have not. See, I wouldn't know what I was looking for, so it wouldn't help me. I'd be in there trying to Google stuff.
Yeah, I never have. But I think
Have you
in
ever
this
went
time I would.
in this day and time? Yeah, I would.
I would for sure.
hmm If I had to enter back in the dating space, I would educate myself on different medications for different things that are high right now, HIV plus stuff like that, so that I knew what I was looking for. Because otherwise, I wouldn't know
Yeah, I would right off the
what I
bat.
was looking
I
for.
would even gotta look in there long.
Right. That's why I'm saying I can't believe you haven't, because Ashley was a pharmacy tech.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, once she became a pharmacy tech, number one, she's gone now, so I could say it. It's some of y'all that rode through Pomona Valley. I knew your business. I try to tell people, leave me alone, okay? Because I know your business. You think you know my business, but I don't have no hidden business. I know your hidden business that you think only you and your doctor knows, stuff like that. Some of y'all didn't like when you pulled up and saw her. So I started telling her, don't go to the window. I'm just saying, because she learned about all of them. I started telling her, do not go to the window, because, I mean, that's uncomfortable. You walk up and see somebody you know and you picking up something or whatever. And I purposely did not want her to get complaints and stuff like that, because she could easily not be doing nothing, which she didn't spread it everywhere. She legit only told me. So it was no big deal, because I didn't tell. But now that she's not here, some of you better be careful, okay? Itchies and scratchies. Now, listen, other thing. Do you go through any part of a man's house when you're dating him? Like going under the cabinets, drawers?
Yeah, but I think I look at stuff when I first come in. Just if a house looks at me, I'm good.
Right. I look at
You
regular
could
stuff.
tell if a person just cleaned up, like you could tell.
I wouldn't be looking for that kind of, well, that's what I automatically look for, right? So I look at baseboards, I look behind toilets, I look for stuff like that, especially with men. That's off the rip, that's off the top. But I never really paid attention to if it was a hair tie. But those are good things to pay attention for.
Yeah, but I think that would kind of almost be left out. So like, I don't think you really have to go search, because it'd be just left in different places. Just with us, like with we tear off our anywhere and just be putting them anywhere.
Girl, they everywhere.
Yeah, so I don't think we have to really look too far.
Nope, Ashley did all of that. She'd be under your cabinet. She'd be everywhere. And I don't blame her, especially when you're dating with kids. I think people that date with kids, they have a different type of eye too. I think they have a different type.
And now I for sure would, like, for sure. I'm doing a whole background check to pay for.
Would you ever go back with somebody on a first date? Would you ever go to their place in today's time? Not have you ever, but in today's time.
Not even. I've never have, and I never would. I just not on
You
no
never
first.
had a date where they say, cook and I'll come over?
They would say that, but I never did.
But you didn't. Good.
I've never liked that. I feel like that would take away from somebody to have sex with.
So I have before in Arizona, and no, I did not do anything, but I did do that. And then here's the interesting thing. The second time I did it, the first one was Caucasian. The second one was Caucasian. The second one made me feel, I don't know what it is, but I started to feel weird. I started to feel like I needed to leave out of nowhere. He didn't even, I don't think he did anything. It was just regular, but I started to feel like I should leave, and I did. So I don't know. I never talked to him again. I got the worst feeling ever. So I probably wouldn't do those kind of dates.
Yeah.
I didn't do it anymore because I think that when you're in somebody's space, anything can trigger you to feel like that. And it's not necessarily that person. So I didn't like jump up y'all and act no fool or nothing like that, because that's not right to somebody who didn't. I don't recall him doing anything. It's just this eerie feeling that I got that I didn't like. And I think you're going to have that if you're a really cautious person like me and you're in somebody else's space. When I stayed
on first dates, because I'm in somebody else's space and I'm never letting nobody. It would take a long time for a guy to even be able to come to my house. Like I just wasn't into that.
I didn't have a lot of that. I really didn't, especially with the kids around. I didn't at all because it just wasn't comfortable for me. Only my ex and my now spouse, but that's it. I don't see how people do that, because even if your kids aren't in the home, that's still the kids' home, and you've allowed somebody to know where y'all live. Like that's how I go a little bit step further. And it's crazy because have you been seeing on TikTok all of these girls been getting unalived by Caucasian males because they on a dating app, and then the girl will say she don't want to talk no more, and they found out where it's been 3. They found out where the girls live, and they went in and just took their life. What is wrong with men right now? Like, how can so you can't even say no on a dating app now?
Right.
So how do you be safe and date somebody? Because they stopped it when they didn't want to go forward. None of them supposedly was mean or nothing like that. They just said no. But I thought you're supposed to be able to say no in those stages.
I thought
No.
so.
Well, apparently you can't, child. Apparently you can't. And I think that's scary. That's very scary. I would just be single for the rest of my life at this point. If anything happens, I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. My ass is too scary. I can't. This is too much. It makes my stomach queasy.
It really is.
It do for you too?
Mm-hmm.
You think it's going to be harder to date with Amir?
Yeah, but I always said it. The way I was raised, it kind of would probably still be the same, but I will be a little bit more cautious because I really wouldn't trust nobody. I already don't trust nobody, but now you have a child involved, so you got to still even go off that person. Especially little kids. Sometimes kids really tell like and stuff.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you can't even use none of the stuff we had before. Like, well, they have their own kids. They take care of their own kids too. Just because they take care of their kids, so they're telling you, and it may look like that. Number one, doesn't mean that they are. And number two, it's been parents unaliving their own damn babies. So I think people have lost it, like for real. Cannot. So on that note, I don't know how you're supposed to date or be comfortable with another person at this point. Because it be people that be married for 20, 30, 40 years. And you find out you was married to a serial unaliver. Yeah. Being married alone don't make you no better.
So don't.
Just so true. And speaking of being married, don't make you no better. Jesus, Black love has taken a turn. So first of all, Black love is no different than any other love. It is a strong love, and it is stronger because of things we have been through. However, I think that it has become weakened because that trauma bond holding us together from the things we were going through no longer exists. So now we have options. Once options opened up, and then it got even worse with the internet, it's just not the same anymore. Are we going to get back to that? Um, because we do still go through a lot of those things? I don't think so. Because you can escape it, or you can go to another race, you could hide, you could cheat, you could do all of these things that people do to negate going through what you need to go through to build a bond and a relationship. When is it okay for the mistress to enter the group chat
The group chat of who?
of the marriage? When is it okay for the mistress to enter the group chat like
Oh,
Clarissa did?
ever okay for I think it's okay. That ain't. I don't think it's ever okay. You see, I'm like, what is
I'm like, I just told you, of the marriage.
never. Play your
Well,
part. Play your part.
I don't think nobody know they role anymore. Moms don't know they roles with sons. Um, Mistress don't know they role. I don't know what the word for the male is. The male person don't know the role these days, and usually you didn't have that much trouble out of a male that was cheating because he would have
Well,
cheated
they
with a male
act,
person.
act more like females now. So
Yes, they matching energy and whatnot, and it's like, say what now? Like, eh? That don't really match. I will listen, child, listen. So Remy and Papoose have been going through it for some time. Who knows how long? You finding out more how long it's been because it looks like one is really, really done and wanting the paperwork signed. See, there's a done and there's a really, really done. The done means I just want you to get the hell away from me and we might get back together. You don't think that in your brain, but most relationships get back together, actually. It's a lot of married couples that broke up a lot of times. And you just don't know it because they don't do shit like this. Um, and then, you know, when people say, why are you going for the woman? Well, because sometimes the woman enters the group chat when she shouldn't, and she does too much, and then it don't end well. So let's hear what Ram had to say, and then we will back into why she is not what did they call her? They said she's spazzing out. She ain't spazzing out. She responding. People should have no. Clarissa, unfortunately, should have shut up. But that's what happens when you date somebody that's not on your maturity level. No different than when we talk about age. This girl is 15 years younger than us. That's a whole lifetime. You should not be with somebody that much older than you. I don't think. And you're not mature enough. And clearly, you are not. So here we go.
Why? Go talk about. He not speaking on nobody. You know why? Because he don't got nothing to say. He not even speaking on nothing over there. He just letting motherfuckers do this all day. I ain't gonna say nothing, but I'm gonna let this one say whatever. And pray that Rem not gonna say nothing to refute it. Nah, them days is fucking over. You don't get that grace from me anymore. You don't get that grace from me anymore. You just don't. You're a piece of shit, Papoose. You really are. You have turned into a piece of shit. This shit right here, the gambling, the failures that you've had in your career or whatever that didn't pan out how you wanted to, has turned you into somebody else. Don't worry about what the fuck I'm doing. What are you talking about? I could give great advice. If motherfuckers listen to me, they will be great. I actually think if that was my friend, while her friends be on my phone, calling my phone, literally playing on my phone, because they got my number from this bozo, while they playing on my phone, if that was my friend, I would be like, girl, you just turned 30 years old. You are a world champion. You are accomplished. You have made it from out the ghetto, from the slums, from the depths of Flint, Michigan. You don't got no kids. You have your whole life ahead of you. Why are you attaching yourself to this 47-year-old man that doesn't have anything going, has no career, no job, no income, except for the income that he's claiming off of your percentage because he's your manager? Got you out here talking, looking crazy. He's the one that don't want to sign, don't want to get his stuff out his ex house. Doesn't be there for his child that he begged for, but telling you he wants another one. Let me guess. He's telling you he want a son, right? He has a son. He has a son. He just doesn't like his son's sexual preference, so he acts like he doesn't have a son. He has a son. We have a son who is very much alive and well and probably feels slighted sometimes. He does. And my son, who has been like a son to him most of his life. When we got together, our children were 4 years old. They're now 24. I would be telling you, girl, get your ass from over there. What are you talking about? That's what I would be doing if that was my friend. I'm not hating on nobody. Like I told you at the very beginning, that shit is corny. It's a come up and it's corny. Okay? That's what's happening right now. That's what's happening. And you don't even see it because I get all the sweet talking and this. And of course, I got to be the villain. She ain't shit. She this and I'm this. Show me a woman that had a man that was doing her right and she just shitted on him for no reason. This is facts.
So, what do you think about what they're going? Well, what she's confessing now, because
I didn't watch none of it because to me at first I felt like he was being bitter once he started messing with her because now he has something just like she did. But once I started, I didn't even watch it. I don't know who long.
once you
But I
started,
didn't know that Clarissa said something first. I didn't know she said something first.
you said you did not know who said something first.
Mm-mm.
Clarissa did. She's been saying something this whole time. Remy hasn't said anything back. It's been over a year.
Well, I haven't seen Remy say anything, but I didn't know that the only thing I seen Clarissa say was on the breakfast, and it wasn't. She didn't even. To me, what she said wasn't. I get it. So, but I don't know what else Clarissa has said.
Well, here's the thing, and I think that's where people is getting it messed up. Whether or not you are not actively with your spouse, you have a child, and you need to respect that. You shouldn't say anything. That's why my first question was, when should a mistress enter the group chat? And your answer was never. If the answer is never, the answer is never. You shouldn't. Why are you talking about it at all? Why are you speaking my name? Why did you make a rap song? Like, Clarissa's done a lot. She wouldn't even be sitting on these platforms if they didn't want to talk about her and Pat, and because of Remy. They're going through a divorce. You lied. She's the one who came out. Everything that Rem is saying is responding to what Clarissa said. She told her, I don't know why she won't sign the papers. We could be together and I wouldn't be with a married man if he would sign the papers. That's why she debunked it by saying, no, I filed the paperwork. He wouldn't sign it. Now it is expired. Nobody believed it. But what's interesting is nobody also looked it up. In New Jersey, if you don't file the paper or if you don't sign the paperwork in 35 days, you do have to start over. Would you keep starting over with somebody who's not going to sign it? He also didn't pay his lawyer. He also is still trying to get with Rem. She showed receipts. So I don't understand. Very interesting. I don't think she should be talking about that woman's husband. I don't think she should be talking about that woman either. How about that? And she is right. Pap is throwing rocks and hiding his hands, because the first thing he said when he came out and said something after she said that was, y'all know I don't do this internet stuff. First thing I said was, but you've been doing it, because as long as she has ammunition, she got it from you, and you're okay with her doing it because you're letting her do it. Why aren't you telling her not to?
Yeah, he could have stopped that. But to me, I'm telling you, I thought that Remy had started when she had it was
You thought what?
Remy.
Mm-mm. Nope, that ain't what happened. And then even if she did, let's say she did because she saw him with a girl. You got to remember, Pap also showed up to her show and knocked her person she messing with out. You went to the show where she's doing business and you knocked him out. Why did you knock him out? Because it's a code of honor. That man shook your hand. I get it. I'm not even a man and I get it. That's important on the man's side. That man shook your hand and he was sleeping with your wife. Did you have a right to show up and knock him out? To me, you did. Because even though they're both saying that the cheating goes back far,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They need to put it all out on the line, because as far as
she did,
she said
that's why you need to listen to it. Girl, she got receipts and everything. She has put everything.
From the way it looked before, see, that's what I'm saying. I didn't never listen to it. It seemed like she was the one that was cheating first.
Well, going forward, if I send you something and say, "Hey, we're gonna talk about this," I need you to listen to it.
I didn't see you send me that.
Yeah, you commented on the next one, but not that one. Okay, I'll make sure you see it next time. Make sure,
especially if it's on TikTok.
Yeah, I did. When we was going back and forth, I did. I sent you that one, but I sent it because it's new. Those are new. So what happened was, this is what happened, y'all. So Clarissa went on the Breakfast Club, and she did mention some things about being a wife or whatever. Mm-hmm. And this is a portion of what she said. The same way, think about it, the same way Papoose was upset in his right, that's the male right. In a woman's right, don't say shit about me at all. And don't try to throw fake ass jabs. Don't say nothing about who can't be a wife and all of that. Because when you do that, we know that you're talking about Rem. You sitting on a platform you wouldn't have been on without her. I would have been talking about my shit, but that's just me. Yes, you are a world champ, but you ain't sat on these seats. Let's keep it a buck. Not very many people knew about you if they wasn't in that space. So here we go. This was part of what she
I
said.
thought I would be married because I am wife material.
Yeah. You better talk that. I ain't you.
Yeah, everybody not wife material. I think I'm wife
Clarissa material. Said I am wife material and backed off the mic.
Like, hold that. It was a mic drop.
What is wife material? What qualifies as wife material for you?
A woman who wants to take care of her husband and have a family. Wife material mean like that you actually you don't want to have a big wedding, but you want to be a wife. Like you want to do like the wife things. I mean, Pappy's here. I cook, I clean. I cook, I clean. Damn. I'm nice to him. I'm nicer to him than I'm nicer to anybody else in the world.
Pap, on a scale of 1 through 10, what's her cooking? Like, what you say?
So, you taking a jab at Rem. Why did you have to? Oh, I don't need to have a big wedding. But you knew that Rem needed to have a big wedding. It's certain shit. Look, if you choose to enter a space where there's already a family, you do have to watch the shit that you say. Just like, I don't really agree with Rem. She slipped though, and she admitted that she slipped when she said you have a son, you just don't care for his preference. I was trying to cut that off, and it wouldn't cut off. She didn't mean to say that, and she has apologized because she don't know if everybody knows. But the point being is that when you enter a space like that, as a woman, see, y'all can play if y'all want to. Y'all know damn well she said that shit because of the situation that she's in. If you don't want to be labeled as a homewrecker and a mistress, why would you bring up something about being a wife? That literally makes no sense. You playing little kid games, and I don't necessarily think it's cute or funny. I don't understand. Then Rem came out. Why did Rem come out? Because it's a whole year of shit that's going on. And do you like being lied on?
To who?
Do you like being lied on?
Mm-mm. But I don't think with them in that space, I would have just still ignored it. I don't care. Everybody don't believe what they want to believe. It's no reason for you.
Very true. That is
They
very
believe
true.
whatever they want to believe. So some people gonna be on Remy's side, some people gonna be on Chris's side. It's no reason for you to keep going back and forth if you have to put that out. Like, oh well.
I don't think people necessarily. Here's the thing: court of public opinion aside, doesn't matter. It really doesn't to me, because at the end of the day, these
Especially
aren't people going to see every day.
social media is messy. So it would be I would not. If I was Remy and she felt like I would have said something a long time ago.
I would have. As a wife, I would have. And let me tell you why. Because behind the scenes, there's 10 times more than what you see happening. Because you have the people in your life that's telling you stuff. You have a kid with this person. You have to deal with people calling you. And then you have to go on social media and see what people are saying. And granted, here's the part. Most of the people end up dragging Clarissa after she says certain stuff. But the point being is, you've gone all of this time with basically a clean record. Both of y'all, you could have quietly have exited. But because you included two other people, the one she was messing with, because that caused a problem publicly, and then the one Pat is messing with, decided to insert herself and cause a problem publicly. But old dude has talked too before, just not like her. She talks about it like a regular scheduled program, and the people do be going on her in the comments. But you still, hold on, you still don't want that.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you. You still don't want those kind of things in media. So would I, if I was a celebrity and it was like that, I probably would. I would, because I would get tired. Because here's the thing: if I've told you as my husband, ex-husband, whatever, y'all still gonna have a kid together. So it ain't no cut and go for y'all. Y'all actually got to continue to have a family, and that's one of this fucking drummer. And that's one of the things she actually brought up, is that, listen, I've had a talk with him and let him know, hey, let her know I don't have a problem with none of this. Just come get your stuff, come sign the papers. She showed the text messages, just saying. And you going back and tell her she won't sign the papers. She's this type of person. So now I got to look at people saying that in the media too. I probably would say something. I ain't gonna lie, because it gets to be too much when you lied on and your own family knows. That's too many people right there. It's irritating as hell. I probably would. I would. And I don't.
Yeah, ongoing thing. They gonna make
I hope they stop. Now that I do. I do hope that they stop, because I think a lot of this stuff just goes to prove or show and prove why God said don't do certain things. Like break from one thing clean and then go to another one, because neither one of them can say that they not wrong. If you're not divorced, you shouldn't have been cheating back and forth either. So both of you are wrong to me. And that's why you should have let it go. And then you got to think, she's the one here, and that man held her down. That's another thing that came up. That man held her down for all of these years. I can't believe she did it. And I know we even thought that when we first saw it, like, this don't make sense. Well, he did hold her down, but he held her down with her money. So she was paying the rent, she was paying the bills and all of that from jail with her money. That wasn't his money. I still don't take nothing away from what he did.
But
what else did you do?
He just never had money. He never had money.
I don't know what's going on with the money. Maybe it's maybe that's why she mentioned gambling, but she had receipts.
I do remember that that he had a gambling problem. But I did hear that, and while she was in jail, her gambling a lot more and using her money to gamble. But if he ain't had no, you just letting a man. I don't know.
Well, you got to think they got checks for being on Love and Hip Hop. They got all of that. She didn't call him broke. She just said, here's the thing. I don't take it. Sorry, y'all. I had to close that because that damn drummer. I really took it as she was responding to the shit that had been said. But of course, once you start talking, I don't think you should do lives with stuff like that because anything could slip out of your mouth and you can't take it back. And then you start having flashbacks and shit and it don't work. I really think while she was in there, because she was in there for so long, that it became a keep our stuff going type of thing. No different than if a man would have went and he'd have left it to his wife to keep everything going. I don't see nothing wrong with that because y'all are together, right? Then when you find out that the person was actually cheating, I think a part of your brain, and this is where men differ, a part of your brain as a woman is, well, I was away. It was nothing else. At least when I get home, cut everything off. Don't ever let it hit the media. Keep that bitch back there, that type of stuff. Because she was gone, right? Men are not the same. Just so y'all know, if you date a man that's in prison, they call you every 62 seconds because they don't want you to breathe without them. They say it out their mouth and they a damn lie. So they could show you letters where they said it. Check the phone bill. I'm just saying they will have a heart attack. But I think that's normal. Nothing wrong with it. But she still had to prove it because everybody thinking her bum ass when she was fat, these things, and she stayed quiet this whole time. Now she's saying something because the mistress has entered the chat. Like, bitch, where do you think you can say something? Because he told you this was true. How you gonna believe this ain't even your fight? So you should stay out of it. I don't think you should talk. Then she said he had a gambling problem. She never said he was dead broke. She just said his stuff didn't pop, maybe like it was supposed to. And he in turn said he wrote 90% of her songs, but didn't take no money because that's his wife. Again, trying to be the good guy. That's my wife. But business is business. And if you got your checks from Mona Scott too, because you was still on the show while she was in there. So where did your checks go? So gambling was that bad?
That was on Love and Hip Hop. Maybe that's when I had stopped.
Huh?
I said I didn't even know they was on Love and Hip Hop. Maybe that's when I had stopped watching.
They was on the Love and Hip Hop. Yeah, Love and Hip Hop. They was on there because when she came home, they was on there. When Mariah was on there and all of those girls were fighting all the time and all of that. Yeah, they was on there then. But it's really nothing that Remy is responding with, except not to say that he was horrible, if you will, but to say he's not as amazing as y'all thought he was. Because, like she said, what woman would leave the man that she loves if he's checking all the boxes? Once he starts not to check all the boxes and you don't get better, then things get worse. Maybe he's going through a midlife crisis. Maybe he expected to be further in life. Whatever it is, she ain't supposed to be saying nothing. She already talking about getting pregnant and shit. Let's see. Watch. Y'all want an internet niece or nephew? Because she said we're going to have one. Here we go.
Sorry, but are you doing some shit?
No, I am not pregnant. If I was pregnant, I would announce it to the whole world like I did when me and Papoose came out. I will let you guys know, okay? It would be our internet child. I would expect all y'all to send me money and buy diapers and clothes, and I would do a live gender reveal, all that. We would all be together in this. So no, I am not pregnant, and when I find out that I am, I will let you guys know, okay? So no, I'm not. I'm not pregnant. I'm not pregnant. I'm not baby bump chunky. You guys, let's be real. What is wrong with y'all? I'm not baby bump chunky. I still can wear half shirts right now. But that's why I'm doing this whole pescatarian diet thing. Big, but I like to keep my weight to a certain look.
I think she's a little interesting. She needs some friends because
Some friends, but I for her to be about her size and her shape. Not saying everybody be like this, but I was surprised.
Do they have like if they don't have a fight right then they just go on vacation and they eat. Maybe she bloated. Maybe she got PMS.
Just to me, for about, I was surprised she had a shape. Not saying that it's, I just thought that they all like shape. Like,
Oh, always like
Mhm.
that. Oh, I think it's a little different for women because we do have PMS and all those other things. And you know, all we got to eat is one piece of bread, and we could look like that sometimes. But I don't even think she was like
and she
that.
already know that for a boxer.
No, I said I don't even think she looked like that long.
Oh yeah, I don't know, but I see what people mean. But if I was her, this me being a boxer and being a world champion, doing that now really got everybody watching. Mm-mm.
I don't know.
I told you it's feedback. I don't know.
We don't know why, and I can't stop it. So, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really focused on her weight. I'm fat, so I can't really say anything about her weight.
No, you know,
I'm
people
having a little
understand the
place
way
that
the
did not
internet
bother me.
is now. You know the
Huh?
way the internet is now.
The way what? So, guys, the whole point wasn't about her weight. I didn't say nothing about her weight. Although I am going to start giving some fatisms, but that is not one of them. That's not why I pulled that. I pulled that because she's talking about if she were to get pregnant, she would have no problem coming out and saying it, just like she did with being with Papoose. And I think that's part of the problem. Again, reiterating what I said, you should have a problem with doing those things, because why don't you let this man conclude his marriage? How about that? I don't even think it would be different for me if the other guy was flaunting whatever he's done with Remy. I still don't think it would be okay. I think that is very interesting that somehow Remy has managed, even with being punched, for the other guy to keep his mouth shut, but Papoose pretending like he can't keep her mouth shut when one thing Clarissa has done is let us know that Rem be right there when Papoose be right there when she be saying half of this shit. She let it be known, and I don't blame her for sneaking that in. Again, women recognizing women. She'll say something and then she'll be like, "Oh, Pap was right there with such and such and such and such." And you're like, "That mean he was there when you said that?" Yeah, she does that kind of shit. Girl, listen, here's the thing. Like Rem said, she's not scared of you. Number two, realistically, why would you want to flex that? You're a whole boxer and Rem is not. If you put your hands on her, you're going to jail and you're ruining your career. So why would you want to do that? You're also not getting a good light on your career at the height of your career. You just want all of these things and you came out, even if somebody did out y'all as dating, they would have had to catch me like the paparazzi. I wouldn't have been loading videos up. I wouldn't have been doing that. And you were loading videos up talking about he with you more than her, this kind of stuff. Well, she put him out. I should hope so. But he also texting her, dang, I don't even have clothes like I used to. Dang, being in Africa really making me think, why he not texting you that? Why is he texting her that? And he has every right to, because that's his wife. If he want to fight for his wife, he actually can. But you, my dear, are a distraction. And you, my dear, are going to get your feelings hurt because he's lying to you. Most husbands are liars, just so you know, when they want to get what they want. Sorry, but they are. Hate to break the news to you. Um, if he's there, how's he supposed to stop her? I don't know, say, shut the fuck up. Or how about say, if you say anything else about my life, I am going to stop talking to you. Just that easy.
Well, he must have want her to do that.
That's my point. He don't. You just proved that's what I'm saying. He don't want her to. So while he's saying stuff like, I don't normally do stuff like this. I don't be in the media. No, you sent her to do it. And then when you got mad at Rem, you sent your daughter to do it. Boy, we know what y'all look like now, even the innocent ones. And I don't think he's a bad person. I think they're going to get back together.
I don't.
I think I don't think so. I think that if it wouldn't have went this far, because number one, you got her to the point where she filed for divorce. Most women, when they file for divorce, they are 99.9% sure because they've been through so much. They don't want to file for divorce. They have to file for divorce. And then in that time in there where she still tried to co-parent and be a friend, the best thing for him to do would have been to fix those things and do better. But instead, you went and called yourself matching energy and went and picked somebody from the public and you let her talk like that. Once you, Rem's never been in the spotlight in this degree with her business or nothing like that. Nothing. So for that reason, I'm going to say probably not because it's really disrespectful. Sorry. Next one. I don't know the whole story. Girl, like every other story. Like every other story, except this time the woman didn't really say anything. As usual, the mistress wants to come out and let everybody know, I got this person, I'm with this person. And I think it's really sad. I still feel sorry for Clarissa too, because
She's just young. Like, she's young.
I think she's young in relationships. Because she's
Yeah.
not young, she's 30. She's young in relationships because she has been boxing so long and that's such a dedicated sport.
And she said she her whole life. So,
Yeah, fighting for her life, came from Flint, Michigan. Even as it relates to sex, it's a big deal. She's on a regimen for that. She doesn't even do it too much before she has a fight. Like her, that's dedication. Yeah, boxers are not supposed to do anything, like not foreplay, like nothing. They're not supposed to do nothing because it apparently messes up their focus and their boxing and stuff. She talked about that on the one of the shows too. But by saying that, I mean, like, that's a really dedicated life. That's like being away at college all of this time while your true love is at home, something like that. Or you don't date at all while you at college or in the service. And then when you come home, you start over. If you haven't been through relationship things, you could be 40 and your relationship maturity could be 20, because I know somebody like that. He's older, he has grandchildren, he has all of these things. And I think that his relationship maturity it's not where it should be. And I think that starts to bother men, but women try to jump in right away and fill these shoes. Like, I'm a wife. Did y'all hear her answer? Well, I cook and I clean and I put him above anybody else.
yeah, that's not.
Girl, if that's what made a good wife, listen. Okay, is that what he told you? Because he's supposed to tell you what he thinks a good wife is. We can try to be a good wife based on what they say, but then when you actually get with somebody who you're going to be their wife, you have to ask them what they think a good wife is. And based on the way that he couldn't barely answer the question about your cooking, he's a little bit afraid of you. That's neither here nor there, but okay. But yeah, I think that she's at the height of her career. I think this person came in who is accessible and available. That accessible and available will trump everything. And we've talked about that a million times. You just want something when you are okay in your financial space and all of that, you're more so looking at the characteristics of a person. Can they show up? Are they available? Similar to what men say that they want from a woman and they don't care what she makes. Well, we care what y'all make. We just also want y'all to be available.
Yeah, now that I know that he broke, and now he's her manager. Because if you love somebody like Remy, you said you didn't take none of her money. Why are you being her manager and taking her money?
And every one of her, you with her when she practicing, you with her when she running in the morning, you with her when she doing everything. If that's the case, then how is Remy a liar? Where is your work? What are you doing?
Well, he was To me, he was doing the same thing for Remy.
The same thing for Remy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what she said. So she did have some couple of low blows. She was like, he's really good at tying your shoes. He's really good at holding your purse. And here's the part where I say it could get messy, and that's why you leave that between the couples. Those is low blows y'all got between each other. Do I, madam, think anything is wrong with that? I don't, because that's probably a huge percentage of why you loved him, because you were on more probably on the financial side. I'm sure the breakdown, because she said it. You got to listen to what people really say with a grown-up brain. She said when his things started to fall through and not take off the way that they should. Y'all understand that makes a man start to act different. Hell, it makes a successful woman start to act different. It does. When you're not reaching your goals and things are not happening, but you see it happening all around you, or you put in all of this work, that does take a toll on you. And if we feel that way as regular people, I can't imagine how it feels being in media. And then it wasn't on the show no more, so that's a check that's gone. I mean, I could imagine how that feels. I could imagine how it feels, but if that's her friends ain't help, but her friends can't help her. Her friends can't help her, because if you think about it, she would have never been on these platforms that she's on right now if it wasn't for Pap. So he is actually a benefit to her. But remember when we talked about remember when we said when you get with somebody that's younger, because you're so many steps ahead of them and you've done things they haven't done, it could be the smallest thing and they will think it's great because that's what they're trying to get. This is the perfect example. He could get her into rooms she couldn't get into, even being a world boxer. You're still a woman. And we didn't know about you just yet. But now he's thrust you into these spaces and he's showing up with you. So that's validating. My thing is, why y'all not using it for a product, an appearance, something like that? Bitch, I wouldn't be talking about her. I wouldn't be talking about her at all. I'd be talking about myself.
And then sometimes people will ask the questions. But if I was her, I'd be like, I don't talk about that. Like before they do it, I would say, don't ask me nothing about it.
So Ram brought that up at the very, very beginning. If you go to her page, you'll see the progression of it. I think it's like 3 or 4, but everything she's saying does make sense. It's just the low blows in there where you like, ouch, that hurt, because we wanted y'all to love each other. And we went from hearing nothing at all to all of this stuff happening. But then when you look at the girls' page, you kind of understand why. I mean, very sensitive topic, but she actually said that. She was like, I'm in this space. So I know, because I don't answer these questions. I'm on interviews too. And I tell them before we go in, do not ask me anything about this. And if you say that, they can't. If people come on my show, I even learned that. I don't know where I learned that from, but I learned it from somewhere watching some show. So even the people I've had on my show, I ask them, we do an interview before the interview, and I ask them, is it anything you don't want me to bring up? Anything like that? And I have to remember. So I keep a paper up and I remember, because we're live. Girl, you don't have to answer any of those questions, but you know that you have nothing else to talk about while you're sitting there. Then that's a problem. Then don't go yet, because you know that they only look. Why are you on Breakfast Club? Why are you on the gossip places? Because they want you to gossip and you baiting right into it. But she's not. How is that okay? And he's sitting there right with her. Stop antagonizing that lady and just sign the papers. Kathy could have made this go away too. If you'd have just signed the papers and got your stuff, then y'all wouldn't be married no more. She's showed us she don't want no child support, alimony, nothing. Nothing. But she told him he got to get his own medical insurance. He got to come off her medical insurance.
Girl, that's a mess.
All because, listen, mistresses, you need to learn your place. You chose it, so you need to learn your place. Here's why you need to learn your place. Because it's for you too. I'm on the woman's side, because I've been cheated on before, and I make the person call and apologize to the woman. in order for me to move forward with him, because I thought it was really disrespectful, because I thought it wasn't fair. Because if you're feeding this woman these lies and she's moving forward, even though it's not right, I get it. I'm not just totally taking his side. But for me, I'm thinking as a woman or a vulnerable woman. I don't deal with people, but just hear me out. What if the person is vulnerable and they thinking and they believe in this man? Oh, I'm not gonna be with her no more. Oh, I don't like my baby mama. I can't stand her. Oh, I just sleep on the couch. Oh, I just do these things. 9 times out of 10, if they talk super bad about the person that they still interact with, they're lying. But either way, I felt like it was unfair to take advantage of that other woman. I didn't think it was right. To me, it showed you don't respect women, because if you couldn't come at her straight and tell her the truth and then she decide, then that's not right, because that don't make you, you're a liar. That don't make you a good person. You're not a liar, you're a manipulator, and you're not right. If you would have told her, for me, if he would have told her, yes, I'm with Madam, and I'm probably still gonna be with her, but I still want to mess with you. I want to mess with both of y'all, but I'm not telling her. So you can't tell her, because I don't want my girl to leave me. Then you have the right to choose, and then you choose that position though. But these mothers don't be telling the truth. So if y'all want to know what it looks like on the other side with real women, some of us actually cuss the dude out. Some of us actually have that dude, in order to take them back or forgive them, to call and apologize. Because if I could have seen the look on his face, he looked at me like I was crazy. And I was so serious. I wasn't crying or nothing. Hey, bruh, ain't gonna work for me. Because that's disrespectful towards women.
Mm-hmm.
They disrespect women and you a woman. Duh. Why do these men have to lie? Women are very sensitive. We just want to be loved. And y'all always tell us, I'm not to blame for the other ones, this or that, or don't bring that over here, or that's why your homegirls is single. But y'all be doing the shit a
Mm-hmm.
lot for no reason. Like Papoose, why do you have to lie? Y'all are visibly not together. Ram said they haven't slept in the same bed since 2022. So, I don't know. What does that say? Can you see that, Rose?
Yeah, but then she falls in love with him.
That's what happens every time. But it's kind of not fair, because you're feeding a fairy tale. Like their situation, I will say, is one that's hard to deal with. But again, the same way a wife or a girlfriend or a baby mama could be told, why are you addressing the man when you should be addressing, I'm sorry, why are you addressing the other girl when you should be addressing your man, your baby daddy, this and that? The same thing. You went into an agreement with him based on what he told you. When was it okay for you to then tell the wife or do anything with the wife? Why didn't you break up with him? Why didn't you, because you're tired of waiting or whatever the thing is that makes you feel like you need to pop out and show a nigga, why didn't you do it with him? Why? People always only have something to say on the side where the relationship exists, not where one is made up. And I don't understand. Accountability is accountability no matter what your title is. So I really don't get it. But why it made you stronger with him? No, it didn't make you stronger with him. She was literally out the next day talking shit. You didn't listen to nothing Ram said. She showed you receipts. And nothing made you say, I can't believe he lied to you.
Bro, she didn't have to learn.
That's not right. I know you did your own, you gotta live and learn or whatever like
Gonna
that,
have
but
to
that's gonna break that girl's heart.
You're gonna have she gonna if people is telling her this, it is some people that's telling her she gonna have to see for her. Some people they got for themselves.
You know what else is interesting though, Rose? Another telltale be like he knows all of those people. The men ain't exactly most of the people is actually staying out of it if you pay attention. Or if you notice, it's really not in the blogs like that. As like when it came out, it really just dead it because none of them reshared, kept going, stuff like that. It's mostly on her side. But if you notice, they're not welcoming her in as well. So if Pap is your friend, why wouldn't she be invited to the latest party or this or that? You can't even go in that space because you didn't do it properly. Young lady, and yes, I could call you young lady because you're younger than me. Young lady, that's what your whole relationship is going to be like. That's what your whole relationship is going to be like. Because look at Jasmine, the girl Jasmine on Love and Hip Hop with Kurt. She still knows other people, but they still keep correlating her with that. Why? Because she keep running her mouth. She keep doing different things. You're not going to be welcome in that space when they get a divorce and now you're trying to come around. People going to be leery of you. And I'm pretty sure you're a nice person. But every 5 seconds, you want to talk about boxing and all of this other shit. If that man realistically let you touch that girl, he'd be wrong as hell. And realistically, if you even tried to go at her, she could have one of her bodyguards shoot you because your hands are lethal weapons. I think your whole body is. I think you're a street fighter too. But you really would ruin your career over that.
Right.
And I wouldn't. You made it too far. You're doing too well. Flip this shit. You still got time. I would flip this shit. I would. Go talk to you an elder because maybe you don't come from a family that have good background, but you need to call Ayana or something because he gonna take your ass down. He's enjoying it. He's messing with a young girl, the hottest thing. These men, that's not right. Tell him to go get with somebody his own age and try to do this same thing because he's around people, 80s babies. Go tell him to go date somebody else and tell him if you go date somebody that age and he still want to come back to you after everything is done, then okay. You a fall person. Oh, he's wrong. I thought I was okay with Pat. Now that I think about it, I'm not because I don't like the way he's doing her. Very innocent young girl who came from nothing. And she's just enjoying having the attention. She don't really got friends. Pay attention. She don't got people around her like that.
She said that. And her family, she don't really deal with her family.
Because they be wanting too much from her. So what did she get? Another user.
Yep.
That's bad. Well, that's my opinion. Mistresses, start holding your co-husbands accountable too. Blood, Jesus. I'll be happy when the world stops cheating or committing adultery. That's not even cheating, it's adultery.
Ain't gonna never happen. I'm like, that ain't gonna never happen.
Shut up, perfect. It's getting worse. When people don't mind popping out with somebody and actually being okay with it. Remember back in the day, the women would be like, get away from my house. What kind of woman do you think I am? I'm telling your wife. And the husband get home and he'd be met with a pot of grits because the wife know by the time he make it home. Or you find out at grandpa's funeral that the woman around the corner that had them 2 kids and you never saw a man, your grandpa was her man, but she only saw him between 1:30 a.m. or every Sunday. Shit, but somehow it worked out. And the wife. So that is it for me. Anything else from you, Rose?
No, I'm just when you're young like that, just listen to something. Listen, because most of the time, people that's been through that is gonna try to tell you so don't make those mistakes. So when you're young like that, you.
I think so. Marriage is a different caliber, and I truly, truly, in my heart, believe that they really did love each other for a very long time. And was in love, and I think that they still love each other. And if it came down to those hood rules, I don't think Pat would actually let you put your hands on her, and that's when you would learn that you crossed the the thing. And I don't think that she would actually allow something to happen to Pap as well. Notice Pap hit her boyfriend. She did not let, or dude she was messing with. She didn't then just let the other dude hit him back. She didn't defend him. She did nothing, actually. She didn't do none of that. So I don't know. He called himself, yep, because she's the young girl. Right. And Rem lost so much of her time. But hopefully she learns, and hopefully she just change her mind and walk away. Pivot him to get you another fly ass dude that don't have all that baggage. And at the very least, you won't have to worry about things like children. Because once Rem actually lets him see his kid again, all that going here, there, and everywhere, that's gonna be out, buddy. You living in a fantasy world right now. He has a child. So that is it for me, child. You have now become his new child. So tune in on Sunday is the next show. If you want to meet me tomorrow at lunch, meet me tomorrow at lunch so we can talk about this Diddy case and lessons learned. But child, the case today blew me out the water.
Oh yeah, it was good. Today was good.
Now I don't know how I'm gonna do tomorrow because I done heard this new stuff. But I'm gonna get through it, y'all. We're gonna get through it. Quick 30-minute live. We'll pull this all in. 3 or 4 tips. That's it. And then we're out. So that is it. Have a good night. Thank you for joining. Comment on the replay. My mama asked why y'all don't be commenting. I told her y'all comment 2-3 months later. So then I got to find it. But anyway, see y'all soon. Bye-bye.